Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of I'm Having a Party. What are you bringing? My name is Chef Dorian Hunter, and today's guest is everything social media. He is a content creator. He helps and coaches people on how to build up their platforms and how to get those amazing views that we're all in search of. He also plays keys. He's an amazing keyboardist. I promise you. He can play keys very well, and he's also a realtor. Like what don't the man do? And he's even dibbling and dabbling into the barbecue field. So today's guest is going to talk to us about all of those things that he has going on. So thank you so much for coming on. Will, I see you got the content background. That is like. When I look at your background, I think of Twitch. Like, it's definitely that, right? Like, it's all of that. So thank you so much for coming on. Tell the people who you are, first and last name, and all of the social media that they can reach you at.
Listen, first off, welcome back to the Lions Den. Y'all know the vibe. We back on TV. So, first off, y'all can catch me at the Lions Den TV. It's very, very simple. TH3 Lions Den TV on all social platforms, TikTok, YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitch. Listen, we streaming 3-4 nights out the week. We bringing y'all college football action, and we talking college sports for the most part. So make sure y'all get tapped into that Lions Den. And if you ain't learned by now, it's different in that den. But anyways, my name is Willie Perryman. Chef Dorian, thank you so much for having me on the show tonight. I do a lot. You know, that's a part of my ADHD. You know, we just kind of feel like we got superpowers and we can do a bunch of different stuff. So, but yes, I'm a content creator. I stream video games live. I post a lot of stuff, you know, just to create engagement. I've been doing that since 2020, right when the pandemic started. I just happened to see other people doing it. I jumped in, asked some questions, and here we are, almost 5 years later. Still kind of going strong, and I've built a pretty decent following, you know, and I've definitely built a streaming income, you know, utilizing social media platforms.
Nice. So when you think about social media, a lot of people instantly want to go into, when you think of social media, they instantly want to go to the top and start maximizing that ability to monetize. Tell us some of the hurdles and some of the benefits of, and not really, I wouldn't necessarily, let's not get into the benefit just yet, but tell us some of the things that we can do and some of the things that we should not do in searching out that monetization of social media.
It's a good question. So the first thing you want to do is you need to know what you want to do with content. A lot of people got a lot of ideas, but you have to have a niche, right? Know what you want to do. So have a plan. First thing, have a plan. I'm a gamer, but I've tried other stuff. I'm a golfer, so I went out and I tried to make golf videos. But I realized kind of early on, like it's hard. It takes a lot more time, a lot more. I want to say people. You don't need help, but it's time consuming and it's difficult. I've made other content that's more about like relationship stuff where I tried to trigger people. You know what I'm saying? And it kind of worked a little bit. You know, I got some traction here and there, but ultimately you got to find what it is you want to do and have a plan for it. Find out who your niche audience is. And once you find those things, then you just go and you find a way to make content that people will react and engage with. And then the last thing, you just want to be consistent. Anybody can make one hot video, right? It doesn't take a whole lot to make one video that goes viral. It doesn't have to be an amazing video. It could just be really funny, right? And it can go viral. You can get 1 million views on it. You know, there's a bunch of videos out there where somebody who tripped and fell, and it's really funny the way it happened, and they went viral. But does that make you a content creator? No, it just means you went viral because something funny happened. Content creators have to be consistent. So once you find who your audience is, you find what your product is. All we're doing is selling products digitally, right? Through likes, comments, and shares. And then if you can do that on all the different platforms, they'll pay you for your engagement. Simple.
Right. I've seen one of the things that I can really say that I've seen content creators be on this high, right? Where their videos are being pushed out there. They're in the algorithm. It's going. But something will either happen personally or something will bring drama or maybe that is their content drama, and then the drama ceases, and then you can see their views going down, and then they get into this how can I say, I'm gonna try to be very politically correct. They get into this season of begging and trying to force people, oh, I remember when y'all really loved my content and y'all were giving stars and y'all were buying badges, and you kind of see them going into this guilt trip, and they're, trying to, I would almost say, misuse their following. How do you feel about that?
Listen, content is hard. It's hard. It's the strategy is simple, but it's hard to stay relevant. Okay. Right. That's the hard part. Staying relevant is very difficult. Your product has to be hot at all times, or it has to be sustainable. I've seen people play certain games or be on a certain wave of one little thing, and they ride it, and that wave will eventually come down. Like, it is what it is. Flames eventually go out, right? Fires don't burn forever. And at that point, the creativity of you has to come out at some point to be able to adapt and change it up. Okay. Some of my better content creating friends, we always looking for new ways to kind of not so much reinvent ourselves, but a way to recapture that magical moment, that spark that got you kind of going. I've had times where my content was on fire, and I'm 200, 300, 400 people watching at a time every night. That's why I kind of talk so crazy now, because of the success. You start having success, you start talking crazy, like, this is dope, but then eventually what happens when people don't care about that anymore, Right. And yeah, so sometimes some people get into these things where they start kind of complaining about the algorithm. They're complaining about the platform. Listen, Facebook gaming used to be hot during the pandemic. Facebook gaming was where it was at. Okay, I can tell you right now, I made 4 figures a month for almost a year on Facebook gaming itself. Okay, but then something happened. I don't know, and the whole algorithm took a dump, right? And everybody's content fell off. There was no more people watching, right? Right. And of course, during the pandemic, when they was handing out stimulus checks, I would sit on stream and they handed out $100 worth of stars at night. Like, it was crazy, making so much money. And then that all kind of came to a halt. I've sat in people's streams and watched people give thousands of dollars, which I was blown away. I'm like, how do you want to get to 1,000? Like, that's crazy. Like, you get them 1,000? Like, somebody donated you $1,000 like worth of stuff. That's crazy. Like, right. And you don't get that back. Like, why did you just do that? I don't understand why you give that much. Like, that's kind of going beyond it. But that's a personal thing, though, right? As a creator, you got to have a little bit of tact and have some professionalism about it. When people rely on it so much, like, if it's your main source of income, I think people become desperate at sometimes. And there is a part of this as sales. It is what it is, right? If I'm on the live stream right now, when I see people in the chat, and all of those platforms will tell you how many people are in there, right? Especially Facebook, they'll tell you, hey, you got 30 people in here watching. 17 of them are not followers, okay? So I'll use that to my advantage. Hey, I look like we got 17 people who have not yet followed the content. If you haven't already, man, do me a favor, hit the like button. And if you enjoy the content, man, hit the follow button so you can stay up to date on everything going on in the Lions Den TV. We're here 3 nights a week, man. Make sure I get tapped in this den, right? That's sales, right? I know how to get people to buy the product simply by getting them to engage, right? Asking the right questions. Hey, man, if it's your first time on the stream, y'all do me a favor, tap in and let me know where you from and who's your team. And what's that? It's a question to get them to comment, right? Because I get paid off of comments, right? And the more they comment, the more Facebook is going to send out my stream to more people to create more people to come in, right? So you got to know how to sell it at the same time, but not beg. Because you're right. There are creators who get into this thing of, begging. But then there's another part of it where it says, hey, listen, tonight our goal is to add 3 more subs. Can y'all help me hit my goal tonight? And there's going to be 3 people in there who haven't subbed yet, but you got to give them a reason to sub. So you got to have a really good, some good stuff that you're talking about, or a great conversation. Content creators have to be the one thing: entertaining or engaging. One of those 2 things. Okay. If entertaining means you funny, or you finna have a rage moment where you're going to throw stuff and lose your mind. People love seeing that. Or you just got to be super engaging. Man, hey, John, I see you out there, man. Hope all is well. How's the family doing, John? You make people feel like they're the only person in that chat. And I know some creators who are amazing at that. Absolutely phenomenal at making you feel important. And that can happen on a live stream. So it happens, it's personal though.
Right. It is. It is. And I think that the other part of that is you have to have something. I really think that when it comes to social media, when I look at social media from my standpoint and being a chef and being a customer service type person, when I look at social media and the things that people are invested in, I look at it like, why? What is it that this person is giving you that is worth you giving them your hard-earned money? Like, they're giving you absolutely zero, but they've gotten people to feed into it so much. If I say it enough, you'll believe it, just like me. And I think that that's the niche. We're looking at it like that's trash, like that is garbage. That is
Crazy.
garbage. Like, but
Yeah.
then when you look at the comments, it's like, oh man, that looks amazing. Or oh, for two reasons. Number one, let's think about the follower and the age bracket. If I know that your following is extremely old, that means 65 or over, then they need somebody to talk to. And all they want you to do is acknowledge them, right?
Yep.
So if it means if I give her or him 2,000 stars, they're going to call out my name and then I'm going to feel important.
Yep.
I'm going to feel wanted, right?
Validation. Yep.
Exactly. Validation. But when I think my thing is when a content creator takes that and they know that and then they use it as a form of abuse.
Yep.
And unknowingly to the people that are watching and the followers, they just want somebody to pay attention to them. So that's what I meant by that question. Like there's a fine line, right? In validation and then it becoming abuse. So thank you for the clarification on that. So
For sure.
stay relevant,
Yeah,
stay relevant, have a niche, and be able to sell yourself. I mean, every day you come on social media, that's what it's about. Being able to sell yourself. So let me start selling myself right now. So if you guys like this content, please
For sure.
put a comment in, ask questions, let us know if you like the comment when you see these interviews. And of course, like, share, and follow all of my social media and Will's. So let's talk about, let me ask you this. What is it about gaming that, because you are a person that can do almost anything, right? Like almost anything. I always say almost because there's always that one thing that you can't do, right? So I always say almost. Right. So what is it about gaming that you chose that one? I mean, I'm sure you have other things, but that is the basis of your content. What is it about gaming that you love so much?
You know what? That's a great question. So one, I'm ultra competitive, right? So sports, I've been playing sports my whole life. And I played college, high school, football and basketball. So I'm an athlete first and foremost, right? And once I graduated from college, like I still hooped a little bit and I came home and I started bowling and, so like you said, you can do a lot. I can bowl, right? I got a 300 game. I picked up golf, right? I can go out and play golf. I could do a lot of different stuff, but I've been playing video games my whole life. And my competitive nature, natural competitive nature that I got from my dad is always burning, right? So that's where it comes from. Gaming is very highly competitive and anybody can win. I got good at it and I've always been good at it because I really know, football and basketball and those type of. So I just play and I play in competitive environments where, I give myself an opportunity to grow a following. And next thing I know, it just kind of took off. I didn't really expect it, to happen the way it has, but it just kind of took off and, I just kind of go with it. But gaming is I think it's easy now. I'm older. I'm 42. I'll be 43 in a couple months. It's not like going outside and trying to run around. I can't play football no more. You know what I'm saying? So I think in today, like married kids, this is just what I do because it's easy. It does take a little bit of time out of my day, but it's relaxing and it's always been a hobby of mine. So, why not go have fun, monetize your hobbies? And, I'm fortunate I married a woman who did not mind, so I never get nagged about it ever. Never in my life, 11 years, going on 12 years, have I ever been said, why do you play the game? So I've never gotten that question, so I got a good life. I enjoy gaming.
Nice. So that's absolutely amazing. And if you bring in money, I wouldn't complain either. Like, baby, look, set your thumbs on fire. I don't care.
Yeah, my wife, she's my biggest supporter. Yeah, she support everything I do. So it don't matter. Like, I tell her about the game sometimes. I could tell she'd be like, "What?" And she don't care. But when I'm really frustrated, she a therapist, so she'd be there to kind of carry me back into like it's okay. So
The therapy care, I like that. Your wife, I met your wife. I know your wife. I can say I know her now because she's been in my house. But I know your wife, and she's absolutely amazing. She's a really sweet. She's very, very nice. Very nice. Mm-hmm. I can see our personalities being a little bit about staying very straight face until you get to know me. Yep. Like until you get to know me, right? And I'm okay with that. I totally understand it. But okay, so your love for gaming is just something that you've always had because of your competitiveness, right? Like that's, and I think that I have a son who's into gaming, and for him, it's just I don't want to call him socially awkward, but that is a way that he uses to meet other people and to kind of branch out his territory and getting to learn different cultures and that kind of thing from the people that he meet in game. Mm-hmm. Now, there was one particular group that he was with who I thought was absolutely, at first I was like, I don't know. But then when my son started to ask questions, it really opened my eyes to how important it is to meet people where they are. He was part of this group. It was a Bible study. And they would play video games. These two pastors came together, would play video games with young adults and do Bible study at the same time. Now, that would seem kind of odd, but my son would play these games, listen to Bible study. At the end of the session, they would pray it out. And then my son would come and ask me questions that I was really floored by it. And they weren't questions that were off the beaten path, right? You could tell that he was in a place where it was safe and people weren't really trying to influence, but just spark that curiosity in regards to the Bible. So I thought that is a genius way of using gaming to meet younger people. I mean, other people on the other side of the coin do it. So why would it be a bad thing for you to use it as a Bible study? How do you feel about
that? I think that playing video games is no different. It's basically a mode of transportation. And it can open up many doors to different conversations, to different opportunities to meet different people. Some of my best friends today I met on the internet. Some of the coolest people who I literally call and talk to weekly, I met playing video games over the last couple of years. Like, just great people. And we all come from different places, different walks of life, right? Different backgrounds. And there's just so many ways to connect, utilizing a platform such as a video game. It's no different than if we were all in a book club, right? Or you're a chef. I mean, we were all in a cooking group or something, right? Like, it's really the same. It's just another form of transportation to get you to take you somewhere else, right? We just happen to have one common thing, right? We play games. We either play against each other or with each other, right? We may play against other people. We may play, competitively, and, those games get heated, and you shake hands, you be mad for a day, and you come back and say good game, But I think it's really cool, I've never seen that side of it where, hey, we're going to play this game and connect and talk about Christ and God. Like, that's awesome. I've never even considered that. I got a lot of friends who play video games who are also clergy, pastors of churches, a couple people and it's kind of cool because they approach it from a different standpoint. I've seen gamers who stand on their faith and they come right out and tell people right off the bat, like, hey, I'm a gamer, but I love Jesus first. And I got a friend, his name is Coach Clay TV. I'm gonna throw his name out there. He Yeah, he's awesome, right? And that's how he started his platform like that. His wife said, "Hey, go stream, go play the game, do what you want to do." Because he's like, "Hey, I think I can do this," and he built his entire following right on I play video games and I love Jesus. And he literally would sit on stream, play these games. Thousands of people were watching him, and he would talk about Christ. He would talk about how he loved Christ and how people can get saved. And it was just cool to watch these conversations, back and forth. He would take questions in the chat about, salvation and those types of things. And, he isn't creating content right now. He kind of stepped away from the content side to focus more on ministry. But you can do that. And I think that in a certain place, certain spaces, it's pretty harmless, You just have to understand what you're getting yourself into. The minute you get on the internet, the trolls are coming, the haters are coming. That's where a little bit of you got to be mature about it. Like all of this content stuff, you have to be thick-skinned because people. It's gonna always be opposition. People will oppose. It doesn't matter how you can walk old ladies across the street every day, right? You can babysit puppies. You can do everything that's super PG that nobody would ever have a problem, but somebody will find a problem with what you do, no matter what, right? And you just got to be thick-skinned enough to be able to deal with the trolls. So
right.
I like it.
Right. So let me ask you, this is probably our last question in regards to the gaming, because I want to get into some of the other things that you do. What is too young? What's too young?
That's tough because this can go a lot of different ways. I recently started letting my boys sit on my stream while I play the game. And honestly, it kind of helps me because I kind of don't take the game as serious because I know my sons are here, right? So for me, it's like, hey, let's just have some fun and let's play this game. And we laugh and clown and whatever. Would I let my sons create content? Maybe if they found something that they were really good at, but it would just have to be monitored. And they're 5 and 8, right? As long as parents parent, because that's the first job, right? And our job is to protect them. So my kids watch other kids' content. They make content for kids. I don't see a problem with that, right? Macaulay Culkin was acting, right? Kids act, right? They in Hollywood making money. Right. So content is really the same, right? It's just now we can stand in front of our own camera. We don't have to go in front of the cameras in LA or New York in order to get paid. We can sit here in front of our own cameras and do whatever. So one of the biggest contents right now that's out there on YouTube are kids who open up toys and do toy reviews. Literally, it's bananas. I would say I think a 5 or 6 year old is normal, within reasonable boundaries. I also see baby content. Like moms do baby content all the time, right? About how to manage a newborn. Does that expose a baby? Not really, not in my opinion, but I guess you always, as a parent, we protect our kids at all costs. So just understand what comes along with the minute you turn on the camera and get on the internet. I see a lot of creators get upset with comments that's made on their videos.
Right.
Why are you upset about? You knew this was coming. Right. If you don't want to be triggered, then don't turn on your camera. Don't do this because it's not for you. You know what I'm saying?
Right. One of the things that I learned early on, especially once I started to bring Mia into some of my videos and my lives and that kind of thing, is and before, if you build up a faithful following, the one thing that I learned is that those people who really are there to support you, they'll do your fighting for you. You don't have to say a word. Yep. Like you 100%. Really don't have to say anything. They will fight for you. So I always tell people, be very careful because, and I tell my following, keep it cute, but get your point across most definitely. And thank you for defending me. You know what I'm saying? Or bringing it to my attention or whatever the case is. So yeah, I feel like when you start to bring if Mia used to do a lot of camera work for me a while back when Charles wasn't available. And I would always say, you guys keep the commenting nice because Mia's behind the camera and she can read the comments. You know what I'm saying? If it's just me,
Sure. Yep.
I can handle that. But I don't want her to see some of the things that's being said. And when I would say that, that would almost trigger the people who actually follow me. Okay, we're going to come in here and we're going to make sure don't nobody say nothing crazy.
Sure. Yeah.
Because, we're going to put them in check or definitely put an alarm by it so that you do say it, you can take it down, so that she doesn't get exposed to it. So I think that's actually amazing advice and a great comment. My next question is about you playing keys. How long have you been?
That's
how
funny.
Long? Look, we're gonna keep it cute. How long? How long have you been playing keys?
I'm embarrassed to say because I'm not good as I should be for how long I've been playing.
Hey, stop the interview. I'm gonna tell you what I tell Charles. Stop. Don't say that. Don't say that because we sometimes are such perfectionists till we don't even recognize how far we've come. So don't say that. Don't say that. True. Say that I'm always getting better, but don't say that you're not as good as. Because
let me change how I say that because I kind of shock myself every once in a while when I go back and listen to my stuff I've been playing. I'm like, that's you? Like that actually sounds pretty good. So I will give myself a little bit more credit than what I probably normally do. I actually started in college. So I was, let me see, I graduated in 05, like 2000, year 2000, 25 years. That's crazy. So that's insane. That's scary to even know. I started in 2000. I was a freshman in college and we had a gospel choir at the school, right? And I go and I was just playing drums. It was 2001. I was a sophomore. And I played the drum. I played drums. So that was how I grew up playing drums. So I was playing drums and we had this girl, she was a piano player. She was awesome, like fire. And near the end of the school year, I'm like, how do you play a piano? Like, I never even touched the keys. Like, how do you even do that? I'm not gonna lie, Chef Dorian. She showed me one chord. She was like, 2 chords. They went together. And I'm like, I was hooked. It was like crack cocaine. I could not put it down. Like, I never did crack before, but I see how it got these people out on the street. So I was completely hooked. That summer, I went home and I found a keyboard. I think one of my homies, his sister had like a little Casio. I took that keyboard and I played it every single day. And I kept finding songs I like. And I didn't know what I was doing, but I kept playing all the melodies that I heard. I went back to school. I took a piano lesson at school. And I started learning how to read music and how to actually have your hands on the keys. So I started figuring it out. And from that point, I just asked everybody who I could to show me something. Like, hey, show me how to play this. Show me how to play it. So this kind of kept growing and growing. I started going on YouTube and different websites, gospelmusicians.com, and learning how to play from watching videos. So I'm a little self-taught, right? I never really took a lot of formal lessons, only a couple. So really since 2000, technically 25 years. Jeez, that number is scary. I'm getting old. Goodness, that's scary, right? And then when we moved here to Phoenix, 2015, my buddy was like, hey, I think it's time for you to start back playing because I hadn't touched keys in years. I had kind of took a lot of time off. I'm like, let me go and play. So I decided to buy a piano and I started practicing again. And I went to a gig. He had a gig out in Scottsdale. And he was like, I want to introduce you to a guy who played guitar. And he was like, hey, my church needs a piano player. You want to come play? And I'm like, sure. So I went and checked it out. And here we are, 10 years later. Yeah, and that was my first time playing for a church. So it was a steep learning curve. You learn a lot, but I just threw myself out there, see what happened. And, here we are 10 years later. I've played at probably here in Phoenix over 100 different churches easily.
Nice. Right.
I played with a company that used to send me all over town to play at different churches on every Sunday. So
nice. Nice. You took the leap.
I did. Yeah.
You took the leap and it paid off. Like, you know what I mean? Like
it has.
You have that skill that I always tell people, it is very important to have more than one hustle.
Mm-hmm.
It's very important. And people think, when you say hustle, that's bad. No, you need several streams of income. There
Sure.
were several different ways that if something happens, I got this to fall back on, or I got that to fall back on. So there is absolutely nothing wrong with that. So let's talk about your I don't know, is it your main bread and butter being a realtor, or is it again just another notch in the repertoire that you have gaming, you have playing, because nobody plays without being paid, especially for churches anyway.
For sure.
You have
For sure.
that, you have being a realtor. So how do you fit all of this into a good week with Will? What does that look like?
It's crazy. So when I started real estate in 2017. I was licensed in 2017. I actually got fired from my job. I can be transparent about it. I worked for Farmers Insurance. I did insurance for 7 years, claims, and I got fired. I hated it, and it was just I shouldn't have gotten myself fired, but I got to a point where I just wasn't doing well with it anymore. And it started my real estate career. I sold 2 houses in my first 3 months. And I'm thinking, oh, this is kind of easy. And these checks is way better than, regular 9-to-5 paychecks. But then I didn't sell another house for 11 months. And I had to, at that point, learn how to go to work for myself. Grinding, did open houses Thursday through Saturdays, almost every single weekend for all of 2018. And when 2019 came around, all of that work started to pay off. Clients from out of nowhere, people out of nowhere started calling me and hiring me to help them to buy houses. So it kind of just took off. And at that point I was making money, and I'm like, well, I got more time on my hands. So then I went and got another job, and I worked at Grubhub. So one thing that COVID taught us is that multiple streams of income is absolutely necessary, because my real estate business kind of took a big dip because the market got super hot, and all of my clients got outbid for their properties that they wanted to buy. Which is difficult when the rates are low and the prices are nice and clean, So that's when I started working at Grubhub. I'm an account manager there. So technically speaking, I don't really look at any of these jobs as being my bread and butter, because I do them all and they all pay me, and I need them all personally. That's my mindset. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I don't have the mindset of, well, if I lose this one, no, I need all of them. So I don't really leave. I don't let none of them kind of lapse. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Real estate has picked back up over the last year or so, since the rates kind of went up. And right now we got 23,000 houses on the market. I did a client consultation last night. So real estate is really what I do. And I work because I work for myself, and I prefer to work for myself. And then I work at Grubhub as an account manager. That's 9 to 5. And it's a sales type of job. I got that because I had a real estate background, and I also own a BPO company, which is broker price opinion. So basically I write drive-by appraisals for banks. I just wrote 3 before I came here. So, so today I technically have worked 3 of my jobs. And one of them I was working and getting paid while I was still getting paid for the other 2. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I do. I kind of do a lot, but real estate is, I work with families, buying houses, selling house. I sell houses to people that you know. You know what I'm saying? I've been doing it for 8 years. So
Nice.
My goal is just to help people.
Nice. You are what we would call a Renaissance man. You got your hands in a little bit of everything. I always tell Charles, you're a jack of all trades and a master of many.
Now master nothing. That's the thing. That's the issue. That's the thing. I'm upset because I haven't mastered anything. I want to master something, but I can't because I do so many other things. I don't have time to master any one of them. So it's frustrating. But that's a part of my ADHD. It's a superpower because I can juggle them all. I just can't master any of them, So.
Right. So, one of the basis of coming on the show is you have to bring something. And so far you have brought some amazing conversation, some great tips for those of us who are looking to further their social media careers, and some ins and outs about that. But then you told me that one of your loves for a while was the grinder sandwich. And you said, Chef Dorian, I'm bringing a grinder sandwich today, which is a very simple sandwich. And I'm not sure where you had a grinder the very first time, but from where I'm from in Canton, Ohio, there was a place called Grinders and Such. And I'm not sure if that's where this sandwich originated from, like, and people just really fell in love with it. But there are so many variations of how to make this simple sandwich. People chop it up, the inside chopped up all together. Some people make them into sliders. Some people, just make them into hoagies. But with it being a party, the one thing when I thought about a sandwich, and I've never done a buffet of sandwiches. I've never done that before. One of the things that scare me is, number one, the sandwich is sitting out. Number two, the sandwich is sitting out for long periods of time. You ever seen a sandwich and it's a set out and it look all like, I don't like that. I do not like that. But I feel like for this sandwich, I have found a way around that to where I would have this sandwich. So we're going to talk about this grinder sandwich, and I've already lightly toasted my bread. I don't like a real hard. I pre-toasted my bread here, and we're going to put this sandwich together. Now, for a typical grinder sandwich, for those of you who don't know, it is an Italian sandwich, pretty much. Italian sub kind of a sandwich. Turkey, pepperoni, salami, provolone cheese, banana peppers, tomatoes, red onions, and lettuce, mayo, red wine vinegar, and Italian seasoning. Now, this is how I'm going to make mine. Now, you make yours, and everybody make theirs their own way. I know on social media there is this big thing about grinder sandwiches, but I'm going to make mine my way. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make something kind of like a slaw. So I have in here, so that my sandwich it can sit out and it doesn't look like, oh, I'm so weak. It doesn't look like that. I added angel hair cabbage to my lettuce. And what this is going to do is it's going to give it some stability. For sitting out, it's not going to go wilted extremely fast. So what we're going to do is we're going to make kind of like a slaw, which in essence is what a grinder has in the very first place. Mayonnaise, red wine vinegar, and a little bit of Italian seasoning, salt and pepper. So we're going to add some red wine vinegar to this. We're going to add some Italian seasoning. Of course, a nice pinch of salt, and I'm using pink Himalayan because we don't want it crazy salty. Some pepper, okay? And then we are going to go ahead and mix this up. It's not a traditional sauce, so no need for milk and sugar. None of that. Don't do that. That's a no. This is just the mayonnaise and the Italian seasoning element to the sandwich. Now we mix that up very well, and then we set that aside. Now we're going to build the sandwich. We have provolone cheese. Super simple, y'all. Provolone cheese here. Is that the round part? Yeah. Here we go. Provolone cheese. This used to be one of my favorite sandwiches, actually, from home. Salami, and this is uncured salami I'm using. Pepperoni. Very meaty. And turkey. I'll add just one piece. To this, we are going to add tomatoes. And these ingredients are what you need to actually call it a grinder. Red onion. Super simple. Okay, I like a lot of onion. We're going to add our lettuce slaw to that. That already starting to look good. For real.
Yeah, it is. Sheesh.
A grinder
I'm at
sandwich
the wrong
is
location. I'm supposed to be at the place doing the video there.
Right.
I should be doing this from y'all.
Right. Now, the one thing that I do like about this whole grinder thing is you can have this just as a salad, right? Like you could just have it as a salad. If you wanted to add more mayo to the top, you could, or we're going to give it another little dollop of Italian seasoning. We're going to, now for party's sake, because you like sliders, for party's sake, we are going to put in some toothpicks right after cut, because we're sharing it, right? Like, you're not just eating it by yourself. Keep it together.
Where's the pickles?
The pepperoncinos take the place of the pickles because they're pickled. Charles said, "Where's the pickles?" But you can put pickles on it if you want to. But
did you put banana peppers on there?
I did put banana peppers in here. I did. You can do extra banana peppers or whatever. And this is a super simple, quick grinder sandwich. Here it is.
That looks so good.
Nice. It's messy. It's a messy sandwich. Like it is. Wrap it up in some parchment paper, each individual part, and then put it on your buffet so that all the ingredients stay in it and it's not like all over the cutting board like this. But I love a messy sandwich. I honestly do. Like, the messier the better to me. Will, thank you so much for coming on. I really do appreciate you. I really do. I know that nothing but great things are going to happen for you.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
No doubt about it. You have an amazing heart. I know that you are a man of God. I know that you love your family. You love your wife. You have beautiful children. I know that you always have them in mind in everything that you do. And I really do appreciate not only being able to see that, but, being able to fellowship with you and your family and your wife. That was definitely an honor for me to be able to host y'all here at our house. And I'm not just, I say this to people because I think people be thinking I'm joking, but I'm honestly saying that. I really do. I love y'all energy. And I feel like in our past lives, we were probably family because me and your wife are alike.
Yeah.
We are a lot alike, for real. So I really do appreciate you coming on. Nothing but the best for you and your family. So thank you again. Y'all, we're going to go ahead and pray us out. Oh, and one more thing. Every guest that comes onto the show will be given or gifted a bottle of, you can cut that part out, a bottle of Garcia de la Cruz olive oil. And it is their new blend, the avocado sunflower olive oil. I used it to toast my bread today. Yep, you don't just have to dip. You can actually toast the bread in this. You can fry in it. You can do some of everything with this oil. So I want to just say thank you to Garcia de la Cruz for gifting these to all of our guests on the show. Y'all, let's go ahead and pray us out. What I say to one, I say to all, watch and pray. Live holy every day. In Jesus' name, amen. See you till next time. Bye-bye.